The excretory system. Our learning intention is to understand how the excretory system functions to maintain a healthy body. The excretory system is responsible for eliminating wastes that have been produced by metabolism. That is the action of the cell. All organ systems work together. They provide us with gases and nutrients and water, and they remove wastes. So we're going to be focusing today on the excretory system, whose job it is to remove wastes. So when you look over here, here is the excretory system removing wastes from cells. Different types of wastes are produced by our cells. Carbon dioxide is made by cellular respiration. It is a gas. And when it dissolves in our blood, it can cause our blood to become too acidic, which is dangerous for the chemical reactions that are taking place in our blood. It is removed by the respiratory system through gas exchange in the alveoli of the lungs. Heat is another waste product of our cells. Our normal human body temperature is 37 degrees centigrade, but if we go over 40 degrees centigrade, this could cause damage and even death to our cells and to the whole organism itself. Muscles release heat when they are doing their work, when they're moving, and we remove heat through our skin by sweating and going red. Urea is a chemical that is produced when old hormones or cells are broken down, or when we eat more protein than we need. It's made by the liver. It is toxic, so it needs to be removed by our kidneys and is put into our urine so that we can get rid of it after we've stored it in the bladder. Other things that are removed by the excretory system that are not technically wastes, but sometimes we have too much of them in our system, include water and salt. We do need these to maintain homeostasis in our body, that is the maintaining of our internal environment to be balanced. We need them to keep us hydrated so that cells function correctly and that blood flows smoothly. We get extra water and salt from our diet, but if we have too much of it, we can remove them either through our skin by sweating or through our kidneys in the urine. So, the excretory system organs include lungs, skin, and kidneys. And these three different organs remove slightly different substances. You need to remember that feces is not an excretion. Feces is actually undigested material that has never been absorbed by the body. So technically, feces cannot be included in the excretory system, and that's a common mistake. The excretory system that we're going to focus on now are the kidneys and the bladder. There are two kidneys in our abdomen near the spine, just underneath our rib cage. They are somewhere between 10 and 12 centimeters long, and they work extremely hard. They filter up to 180 liters of blood every day, and they can make somewhere between 800 milliliters up to 2 liters of urine a day, depending on what you've been eating and drinking and whether you've been sweating. The way they work is that the kidney itself, you've got two here, one on either side of your body, they filter high pressure blood that comes in from the renal artery. And the renal artery comes straight off the aorta, so it's very high pressure blood. Inside the kidney, there are millions of tubes called nephrons. Those are microscopic. They would need to be for them to be millions of them. And they are the bits that filter the blood to remove the wastes. The wastes then trickle down the tube called the ureter and collect in the bladder. And then the bladder, which is made of smooth muscle, squeezes to push urine out of the body. Here is the kidney structure, and you may see this if you do a kidney dissection. So a fresh kidney has distinct coloured layers. The renal cortex is a dark brown. The renal medulla is various shades of pink. And the renal pelvis is white and quite fibrous. The renal pelvis is where urine collects and then trickles down a tube called the ureter, and that will gather all the urine together in the bladder. Here is a piece of renal artery that's coming in here. And you'll see this label here, renal pyramid. You've actually got a shape a bit like a triangle. It's harder to see in the fresh kidney than it is on this diagram size. And that's kind of the functional unit. There's lots and lots of nephrons gathered together in a renal pyramid. Urine can give an indication of how healthy you are. A normal colour would be a transparent yellow, but you can get different shades of yellow depending on how hydrated you are and what you've been eating. So you should be able to explain how the excretory system actually provides ourselves with the things we need to survive. If you're going to do a good response for an explain question, you need to consider cause, link, and effect. So here would be a good example of how to answer this explain question. Cells produce waste as they perform cellular respiration to release energy. That's our cause. Therefore, the excretory system helps our cells to survive by removing these wastes from the body before they become toxic. So we've linked the effect of the excretory system to the cause or the need for the excretory system by a linking word which we've used here as therefore.